Alright, so I was wanting to explain my dilemma of putting the shop back. So you see this area that they're taking, the billboard would be right here, and this is where the house used to sit. Up here's where we're putting it, but it used to sit right here. Alright, so this is not perfect. Of course, this is Play-Doh, but there's a stream running up here, and I'm not even discussing this side yet with the Play-Doh. But there is a stream runs up through here, and I have to keep this. There's already a logging trail there that goes up through here to get to the house up here. I have to keep that grade right in here to match the 50-foot buffer over from the stream, which will spiral up here to the house up here. Okay, and this is the side of the bank right here. So the house used to sit here and the shop used to be right here, right here. So if I take that same shop and I slide it back, I've got nowhere to put it. Okay, and so I think they're going to do something like this. Looking at the cross section. Okay, it's hard to get it back in the slot. So there's the driveway next door. Alright, so I've got nowhere to put this shop. I have to stay away from the stream, and I have to leave this driveway up here to get to the house. And if I had to cut the side of this hill out, that's a lot of dirt. But plus, there's a Catholic church up here that we graded that it's wet, and I'm scared. Like if you pulled a line, like a string, all the way over here to these storage buildings on the other side of this ridge, I'm afraid if I went this deep back in here doing some grading and had to cut off the mountain side, I don't have anywhere flat in front to unload equipment. The doors would be, I would be cutting this out. That'd be a lot of dirt. And I'd have no flat parking lot to park a truck and unload a bulldozer that needed repair. So anyway, so here's my dilemma. You see these micro terraces that the cross section's showing. They're going to have I think they're going to have a ditch all the way around it, and then a couple of flumes like this. 1, 2, 3. So I think this is going to be the ditch line all the way to here to the stream. So if I was to make room for the shop in the side of this hill right here, I would have to pour a wall this way because of this line. Let's see if I can pick this back out. Because of this line right here. If my phone can focus good enough. You see this line right here that they're taking? Right away line. Well, that is unnecessary, because to put the shop here or somewhere, I need to cut out this material and slope it back like this. And like this. Let's see if I can switch hands. And I would need to measure the cubic yards of this area right here. how much dirt is this? And it costs money to move, and it has to be exported from our property because I can't fill in the stream over here, and I have to leave this driveway up to the house this way. So how much dirt would this be right here? This is, of course, Play-Doh. I can't get it exact. It's actually steeper. So I'd have to cut this out to start trying to get a shop. Oh, that's the house, excuse me. To try to get a shop to fit in here somehow. And so this material right here that I cut out, how much dirt is that? Okay, I need a measurement. So that would have to be loaded up and hauled away. And this would have to be sloped back a little bit further this way. Okay, so how much dirt is this? Well, here's the problem. Dirt won't hold itself up square, so am I going to have to pour a wall this way? Because I can't touch this area because they bought this and took it from us and put it in. See that? See that straight line right there? Am I going to have to pour a wall this way? So, problem is I still can't fit a shop. So, what I would do is, I would take this material, let's just do it square first. And by the way, I would be filling up, I would follow this grade level with the roof of the old shop. So let's take this material right here. See, I'm already in the right of way of what they're taking. Let's take this material right here. I would fill in right here. See this hole right here? Right in here. I want that to match this grade and this grade. So I would take this material, put it right here, make it fit. Well, that's still square right there. Do I have to pour a wall there? No. Can I still fit the shop? Not exactly. Can I drive around the shop? No. So, I would need to come back further and slope back away. So, let's say further and then slope back away. So, on both sides. So I need to export this material. By the way, this has ruined my dirt selling business. Just talking about the road ruined it. And then when the contractor went around asking people, do they need dirt, that took all my customers away, which is very disrespectful, even though I understand it. I tried to head all this off by getting somebody to come out here and show us what they were taking, and yet they still haven't completely surveyed this. When asked, they won't come out and do an economic impact study of how they're affecting somebody. They won't show up. They just came up with these plans all of a sudden about the time we decided to hire lawyers to help us. So this material would need to be cut out. So some of this still has to be hauled off because all of this won't fit right here to fill in this corner next to the driveway. So we steal some of that and let's put it right here, which starts evening up this corner right here. See, and we'll match into this grade right here. And I'm going to leave this ramp for this driveway. This driveway they have drawn, which is beside the house and the garage doors, up to this area. So see, I'm starting to get a flat area here. Okay, let me mash it down with my fingers. So I need to slope away this way and this way. This is the north and south. This is east and west. So young Harris is to my right, Blair's is to my left. So I'm sloping here, and I'm sloping here, and I'm sloping back this way. And so I put some of this material in right here, next to this driveway. So I'm fixing this corner right here, this false corner this is behind, this is that little dip behind the old shop. Alright, so some of this green can go right here. That's dirt that can stay on site. But let me add this and this is two quantities of dirt. This part and this part in blue. So, alright, so I'm starting to fit the shop now. This way, or this way, but of course this is not perfectly to scale. So I can't drive around the shop, but I can at least get to these doors. And I can pull in this driveway, let me make this, and pull up here, and I can start to turn around with a tractor trailer, unload and get indoors on this side. All right, so if I've come this far, you can see this is the ditch and this is the slope, and they could put the right-of-way on this line right here. And they could save this dirt is dirt I could sell later and level out, and I could test my equipment out up here, and I could plant trees along this edge. So I've got this much flat space now, even though it's different colors. Flat, 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 slope away, and I need to measure this. This dirt needs hauled off. Now, I could give them this dirt, and it leaves me with a slope back here and a drop off. You know, it'd be a steep bank, but that's all I can do. I gotta have a shop. And this is so unnecessary because we could have talked about this and planned around this. But see, they only need this first slope right here to mow along the top of this ditch line. They don't need to own this and this. So if I had a string, if you remember this edge right here, if I've got a shop sitting right here, if I pulled a string from here to here, it's floating over the roof of this shop after I move this dirt. However which way I would orientate this, or I would put the shop right here and drive around the back. So just doing this much right here. Let me pull this away if I can. You remember this right here, this line of what they're taking. Would I pull a string from here to here, and they would have a floating right away over the top of my shop sitting right here? I took a piece of thread from this point right here. This is almost to the corner of the back of the shop, up to the top of the mountain up here above the light pole. It would be going over the roof of this. You see this line right here. So let me put this back where it was. And by the way, this is the driveway next door on the Young Harris side for Alan Caldwell. Alright, so I've got this here. Now, if they had the right-of-way right here, the top of this first slope, all the way out here, and of course right here it's behind the old shop, this slope starts to meet this slope. You know, I could put the shop here right against the right-of-way, not have any doors on this side, and it would be like a wall against the highway. You've seen that like on the side of 85 in Atlanta, at Norcross there or something, where there's a building above the bank of the road, and I could drive around behind it, and I don't have much room here to turn around because this driveway right here will be climbing up to this grade right here. You see, I've got a little bit of room back here to pull in like door, and maybe a door on this end. Well, look at that perspective. Put the shop here or here. So we're only left with this, right? So if I was to slope that where it's easier to mow, it would come this way. So then they're only left with that much. What is the point in trying to take all that when they could put the right of way down here on this first one? This is the edge they mow above this ditch line right through here. But the thing is, instead of buying this land, add the cost of exporting this dirt to the cost of putting my shop back. And then that will be the cost of exporting this. So I can load all this material right here up, these two quantities. See how that's flat all the way across here, and just never mind this imperfection right here. I can't get it. It's Play-Doh. This is one continuous smooth slope on this first terrace. If I get back in perspective, the shop's somewhere here, here, and here. So I'm to this point right here. Well, that's a steep slope. I could be better off if it was sloped back like this, so it could be mowed. Alright, so now you've only got this much left. So I could have this terrace, and this terrace for my grading business. Okay, so let's just say I haul this off in the future. We're down to this grade. Let's just say I haul this off, and see, I leverage this to get grading jobs. I've got the dirt, but see, the road is going to ruin me for a few years till the road's done, because the road is getting rid of dirt. So I've got, you know, I got equipment, dump trucks and excavators. I need this dirt, and the more I keep taking this out, say I take out another level the next year, and I test my equipment out up here when I'm testing the transmission. So in another year I'll take out a little bit more, and I know that this is not a perfect property line right here next to Alan Caldwell's driveway. And by the way, if we can't get a crossover in front of this, imagine if I had a little driveway coming off of this up to this first terrace, and a driveway going out through here and up to Mom's house. By simply cutting this one back further, the contractor could even do this, even though I want to keep the top edge of this back. I want to own that. Imagine if I had the shop right here somehow, and a driveway came off of Alan Caldwell's driveway like this, up to this terrace like this, and out through here in front of my shop, and out here to Mom's house. And then of course a whole different video I was going to talk about, you know, I could have a driveway like this and use this turning lane if there's supposed to be one up here. No, I don't think there is. Well, anyway, this could be I could have a pseudo driveway right here, just a false driveway for the future. But anyway, and then we could go out this way to Haynes Road and put a pipe across the stream behind the old house. So back to what I was saying, this first terrace, I want the right-of-way line at the top of this first one. I want to keep all this land back here, so then the next year I take out another level, and that's dirt in the future that I could use to leverage. And so, perspective. Now I'm down to, you know, this is not perfect. But you can use your imagination. So now I take down another 2 years. I'll take this level down. And remember, the billboard was right here. And this dirt goes over here. This is future dirt that I could sell. And all of a sudden, this looks bad. All of a sudden, this is all flat. All of a sudden, it's just one neat, pretty slope. I'm having a hard time holding the camera doing this. One big flat area. It's raised above the road. And this is a slope on my side in the back here. And I've got my shop sitting here or here. This is not to scale, so it looks a little big. Right here, and I could drive around this area. I could drive in front of the shop. So if I position the shop about right in here in the beginning, when I take out these last rows in the future, so see, remember this line right here, or heck, I could give as much dirt as, since I'm not going to get paid for my dirt that I'm going to lose, I'd rather just give it all to them and then take it back as far as this area. So that kind of defeats the purpose of any of this right here. And see, this line right here ends up in the future being like this. So I'm like, well, this looks like I'm 10 foot up, 12 foot up above the grade of the road. I wish this didn't look crooked right here, but anyway. My shop's right here. There's a slope back here. Mom's house is up here. And I've got a row of trees up here, and heck, even a row of trees right here. So that's why I want the right-of-way on this first terrace all the way across evenly. Of course, I slid this back by accident, but imagine this is pulled forward. I've pushed it away, but here's the ditch line. I don't know why that happened. Anyway, does that make sense? Guess that wouldn't look like that. So hopefully this makes some kind of sense. So I need a quantity on this dirt that I first have to take out for the shop. That costs money to move to put my shop back because it will not fit. And then I put some right in here behind the old shop just to flatten this corner out and leave room for this driveway. And that would tie into this side. Of course, I've wiggled it around, but make room for Alan's driveway right here. Think about that. And then this is one even slope in the back in the future. And then the drive for the house is up around the hill up through here, up to here. One clean slope. Oh, it looks distorted. I think you got the point. I could have a 1-to-1 slope back here. This is the only fill material, would be this corner right here. So we'd be pulling in here uphill to this parking lot. The shop would be, make this just a little smaller. Shop would be somewhere right here. This is parking lot in the future, and this is the parking lot for now in the front. So this is future dirt that I would get rid of. It was right here. Those terraces I want to keep. And then this is dirt right here that I need to export to fit my shop that was in this area. And this is dirt on my property that needs to export. So I need a quantity on those two. How much dirt is that first to get the shop started? Then that leaves me with this half right here. And as long as they put the right of way on this first terrace, I want to keep these last terraces right here in the end. So then I had to have a storm drain running this way with a head wall, and they can have a little short flume right here, maybe a manhole right here, and a storm drain running this way in the head wall. And then because of this driveway, I don't know if I could squeeze a storm drain running this way over to this area right here. See that angle I'm going at? If it'll fit under the ramp of this driveway. This is the old house right here, right in this area. This is the old shop right in this area. So, hope this helps. This would eventually be flat in the future, but for now I need it flat to here at least, halfway out, the slope in the back.